Hello and welcome to the January 2026 update of the Zerno Z2 and other things going on at Zerno HQ. So to kick this one off, I actually wanted to show a bit of a side-by-side of the Z1 and the Z2. This is a common question that we get is how do they look side by side? So this is a good review of the dimensions of the two grinders. The Z2, by the way, is with our new zebra wood, and the Z1 is with olive wood and stolt, since I know that somebody in the comments is going to ask about that one. And actually, we've shortened the Z2 just a touch. So the Z1 and the Z2 are actually very similar length right now. So you can see that the stands on the front are aligned. You can see that the fronts of the grinder are aligned as well. And the backs are just a little different, but the dimensions are very similar. We've also extended the back of the Z2 stand a little bit for stability. And as I'm sure you would notice, the stand material is actually thicker by a whole millimeter on the Z2, just to be able to support the grinder. Now, you would also notice that the Z1 has the one O-ring and the Z2 has two O-rings, as somebody suggested on Discord that we do, and it does end up supporting the funnel better. So this feature is actually going to be going back to the Z1 as well. So this is how the funnels fit, and the Z2 has a very snug funnel fit, so pretty secure there. I also wanted to show off the RPM knob of the Z2 actually. So let's get right into that. This is the Z2 RPM knob. We actually focus on it. There we go. We are still tweaking the engraving a little bit, but I just wanted to show off the sound of the knob and the click. I really hope this comes through. It's an absolutely beautiful click. This mechanism is something that we designed and built out from scratch. So this is a double ball bearing preloaded mechanism to actually just support your knob. Another fun fact for the audiophile friends out there, this is a standard 6mm knob. So if anybody wanted to use it for different purposes, or if anybody wanted to actually replace it, this is a standard knob bore, even though the Z2 has completely custom knob, of course, beautifully machined. Now I'm actually going to take a minute before we jump into the rest of the Z2 updates to show off the lab that I'm in. So this is our brand new Zerno lab, still getting furnished. But this is something that I've actually been super excited about, so we can have a bigger space for experimentation. I'm just going to walk you through it super quickly. On this side, starting with like a microscope. This one actually is a video microscope, so it's got a video feed. We're planning to do some cool stuff with it. Brand new 3D printer. We're printing spindle liners for our lathe. They're about 1 meter tall, and they come in handy when we machine different materials. And something that I'm personally very excited about, and that we finally were able to hook up and set up, is the Kian's profilometer. As you can see, I got some MP burrs right under it. So this device allows us to really zoom in on the burrs, measure different angles, measure different points, measure parallelity, and so on and so forth. So I know that this is actually really going to come in handy. We've been using one of these for a while at MHub Chicago, but we finally have our own. So this is very, very cool. We're going to talk a little bit more in depth about a couple of the pieces that make the Z2 so special. And we're going to talk a little bit about the alignment. Of course, super important to us topic, and super important if you really want to make great coffee. And we're also going to talk about the shoot a little bit. So we're going to show that off as well. Now, to kick it off, we're going to go over the adjustment assembly. That's the assembly that actually houses the stationary burr. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen our Instagram story with the adjustment assembly actually and the fit of the adjustment assembly, which is super nice. That fit is pretty tight, and it actually contributes to really great alignment. So I have the height gauge over here, so we can actually check the alignment of the adjustment assembly. So this piece houses the adjustment assembly. This is something that we call the left piece. So this is the left piece of the grinder. Naming is the same for Z1 and Z2. But this is where your coffee comes in. This is the stainless steel piece over here that your stationary burr sits on. And the coffee goes this way. So I wanted to grab that stainless steel piece that's actually super nice, super heavy, and really well machined, and show it off. So first, let's measure this lip of the adjustment assembly. So this is going to be our register point. So this is the part that assembles with its mating part, and it sits on this edge. So this edge is actually really important. Just clean this schmoo off of here. This edge here is really important since it's what transfers the alignment onto the other piece. So we're going to establish parallelism between this face and this face first. So we're going to grab our height gauge. We're going to take some measurements. As you can see, I've already zeroed it. And we're going to take some measurements around the face. And we're expecting everything to be under 10 microns, which is really tight. So we're going to go around -1, -2. That's 1. That's 4. And that's 3 over here. So we're within about 5 microns, which is excellent. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to drop in this piece. You can see how tight the fit is on a really tight fit. If you need to assemble it very straight, otherwise the piece is actually going to get stuck. So this is great. It feels really great. It sounds really great. I'm just going to drop it in like this. So we're going to use the same face, same registering face, but now we're actually going to measure the alignment of this guy, which is where the burrs sit. So we're going to zero it. We're actually going to zero it right over here. There we go. Gotta be really careful when zeroing this gauge, since if I touch it, it's gonna move. So I'm very careful with how I press this zero button. So we have 1 over here. We have -10. We have -7. We have -3, and then we have 1 over here as well. So actually, this bit here is also within 10 microns, which is an absolute crazy alignment. And when everything is loaded with the springs and everything, it's really gonna stay the same because of this tight fit over here. So this part houses your stationary burr. This is 80 millimeters, so it's going to fit. It's designed to fit all burrs that we've tested, which is a very large variety of burrs. There's 3 different mounting mechanisms. There's blind burr mounting mechanism, a blind burr mounting mechanism. It sits on these 3 pins over here. Then there's the ditting burrs that mount on these 2 threaded holes. There's another blind burr standard. That's what these holes here are for. That also works with the Z2. But enough about alignment. Let's actually take a look at the chute, which I'm getting a lot of questions about, honestly. So this is the other piece of the grinder, the other pretty cool component. That's how these pieces come together. And this houses your rotary burr. So as the keen observer would notice, there are bearing, this is a bearing surface. But this bearing surface is actually, the seats are not machined in. That's very purposeful. We machine the seats for our bearings after these pieces are made. Since anodization can technically introduce some error in these, and we'd like to know that everything is absolutely perfect. That's something else that contributes to Zerno alignment. Of course, it's a lot more work, but the result is better. So we do it that way. Now you can see this piece actually has the chute. Chute is fully finished, so we do have a stainless steel chute. As a lot of you suggested, it does look pretty nice. So you can take a look at how these guys are going to look when you put them together. So this is the chute, and the chute is also a knocker, so the bottom part rotates, and it's magnetically attached, and it knocks off all of your grounds. Chute goes all the way into the grind chamber. There's, of course, a very small lip over here. That lip is there so grounds stay away from the actual backside of the chute and they actually go through. Of course, grounds are going to make their way everywhere. We've been making renders for 4 years now, and I can guarantee you that. So the chute is actually easy to clean. You can pull it apart. You can cap it off, and then you can put it together. Actually, that was supposed to be way cooler. Let me give it another try. There we go. That's how it comes together. And this is how you actually use the knocker. So you twist it, and you let it go. You twist it, and you let it go. There's actually 16 magnets in here, which is what holds this thing together. The magnets on the bottom side are blind, meaning that they're actually on the other side. Can't really see them very well, but they're machined through on this side, just so they don't interfere with this surface. So that's how they're made. Something that we came up with, and we do captive magnets in a lot of our different bits and pieces. So that's something really cool. The inside of the chute is actually also super smooth. So this is machine smooth. Takes a bit of time to actually machine that, but that means that the coffee is actually going to slide off of it pretty easily. So that's the knocker. And with that, thank you everybody, and stay tuned for more Z2 updates.